Hello and welcome to the Ask Ardyce podcast. We were so excited about the response last week and have some really great questions this week. So thanks for tuning in again. I will introduce the woman of the hour, Miss Ardyce, my grandma. Say hello.
Hi there, everybody.
So we're going to just dive right into the questions, I think. Starting off with a question from Kate Wong. So she says, Dear Ardyce, my grandmother does not give out golden advice. She prefers brutal one-liners. She is very concerned that I have not married and procreated. In brackets, she says, this money was supposed to be for your wedding day, but you are so single. She will be very disappointed if I have not contributed to the Wong line of the increasingly less Wongy babies in my generation. What do? I should just get a PhD, right? Then I'd be a doctor and she'd have to love me. Kind regards, Kate Wong.
Oh, hi, Kate. I'm sad. Because grandma should be a soft place to land, and doesn't sound like you have that grandma. So, but this is a really tough decision for you, Kate. Becoming a doctor isn't going to make your grandmother love you, which is difficult to say. But you have to do what really is right for you. If you really want to be a doctor and be out there helping people in our world today, then please do that. And if you feel you should find a partner and have babies and be a doctor, then do all of it, Kate. You can do it if you want.
Awesome. And I feel like I'm very lucky to have a grandma who's just like, whatever you want to do, you do it. My grandma's been helping me with my spoken word career, which is probably not something a lot of grandmas do, so I feel very lucky there. And I should also note that Kate Wong is a really fancy and well-respected nurse, so she works in healthcare, and the good news is she has an impressive career, she has an impressive life, and sounds like she has a lot of love from her grandma despite the you're so single, make babies. But along the same lines of kids, Janelle, my old roommate, had a question, and I was excited to see her because back in the day, Grandma would come and cook at my roommate house, and Janelle and Lauren, all the wonderful roommates there, were always so excited when Grandma came over. So she knows Grandma quite well. So she asked the question, you have really great kids. Well, I've only met one, Quentin Krogstad, and he's great. And super amazing grandkids, Katrina Krogstad, Miranda Krogstad, and Brittany Krogstad. Thanks, Janelle. That's so nice. As a single woman who's put her career first and is not sure she wants kids, wondering if you always wanted them and what your advice would be for those of us who are considering life without them.
Janelle, I've always known from the time I was a little girl that I wanted children. That was the big thing for me to have in my life. I wanted to be the best wife and mother you could be. Things don't always work out the way you want, but that's okay. I've got wonderful children and wonderful grandchildren because of it. And thank you for the kind words about my son and my granddaughters. I appreciate it. And my grandsons are great too. And you know what, Janelle? I really believe that you really have to want to be a parent, even if it's a single parent. And single parenting isn't easy. I won't say it is. But if you really feel you want to be a mother, then go for it. But you know what? Don't be ashamed of being a career woman who loves her life. And you know what? Go out there and volunteer with children. Become a big sister. There's so many organizations out there, Janelle, that could use your spirit and your love and your laughter. So I don't think you have to have a baby unless you want to. And I think you have lots of good things to offer out there.
I love that answer, that there's more ways to get involved with kids if you want kids, and if you don't want kids, that's cool, and if you want to be a mom, just you do you. Hey, Grandma?
That's right.
Awesome. And then we have a question from Darcie Hook. Dear Aunt Ardy, it is very likely in the next few days that we will be given the shelter-in-place directive. I have a new love who must work as she is on the front lines, RCMP. How do I balance that with my need to stay home with my kids?
Darcie, yeah, it's really important. I know that you stay home with your kids, and we have so much lovely social media now, Darcie. I mean, get a Skype time set up for you and your new love. Maybe it won't always work out because she might be called out on something that she has to do, or you might have to do something with the kids. But try and set up a time that's just special for you and her, where you meet face to face. I think you have to be a little cautious about being, because she's out on the front line, about bringing her into your children's life all the time. But Darcie, you are so creative. Take this time to spend some wonderful time with your kids and teach them such amazing things about how to live, about life, about creative, about just do it, Darcie. You can. I know you can.
Great advice, Graham. And I feel like that piece about arranging Skype dates with people that you care about and, phone calls and finding ways to connect with people in creative ways is something that really hits home for a lot of people right now. So I think that'll be useful to a lot of our listeners. So next question is from Katrina. Oh. On our last phone conversation, you said you loved seeing the video of Miranda and I showing off our latest craft since it reminded you of how you used to be with your sisters. What is your most joyful memory with your siblings?
Oh my goodness, Katrina. This is a tough one. I could go on for hours telling you.
I thought this one was tough.
Yeah. I'm going to say probably, living on the ranch was definitely one of my favorite times in life. And our Christmases were very special. We had grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles, and there might be 40 of us Christmas Day. There were 2 turkeys, 2 hams, there were homemade. Yeah, it was just, and just sometimes some tears because people got overtired and whatever, but most of the time nothing but love and laughter, Katrina. So thank you for that question.
Yeah, I really enjoyed hearing that, Grandma. I mean, I can only imagine that on the ranch there were so many beautiful times of community and happiness, right? So really cool to get a kind of glimpse into that. All right, so the next question here is from Josephine Lo Re. And she says, "Hey, Grandma A, I've got a real tough question for you. I was taking stock of my supplies and found a bottle of bubbly. When will I know it's time to crack it?"
Well, Josephine, this time in our lives right now, where our world is so upside down, once again, I'm going to say use social media. Get 2 or 3 good friends. Get them all to get a glass of wine there in front of them, and you open your bottle of bubbly, and you guys just enjoy visiting with each other while you have your wine.
That's a great idea. So yeah, don't wait. Just open it now.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so those were some really great questions. We have so many questions this week, so many wonderful questions, that I think we'll split this into 2 episodes. So we're going to sign off here, and then we will post the next episode shortly with the remaining questions from this week. Graham, is there anything you want to say to the listeners to end off this episode?
Just thank you so much for sending stuff in. It's been wonderful for me. It's just given me so much to look forward to, and I just love each and every one of you.
Yeah, and you know what? I have really loved hearing the positive responses and how people say, your grandma's a real personality and how has she never had her own show? And I'm just like, yeah, finally the world is seeing what I get to see every day. So this has been a really cool chance to share some time with my grandma and share my grandma with all of you. So thank you guys for sending in your questions. Keep sending them in so that we have more to gab about next week. So that was Ask Ardyce. I hope you got as much out of that as I always do. If you have any other questions, feel free to post them on Facebook, and I'll nag Grandma with some more questions soon.